I'll keep it real. When Senator John Kennedy gets a chance to question someone, you know it's must-see TV. This time he's grilling Scott Turner, the HUD nominee, and the fireworks are all about the housing crisis. Kennedy doesn't mince words. He basically says, Washington keeps making the same mistakes with housing, again and again. We've spent billions, but homeownership is slipping out of reach. Get this, the average first-time buyer used to be 28. Now, 38, and home prices? 4 years ago, $304K, now $423K. Out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Turner, you have a very impressive resume and career.
Thank you, sir.
And I've enjoyed your testimony today. You will find that we in Washington, we never make the same mistake twice. We make it 3 or 4 times to make sure that we get it right. Now, I have been here 8 years. I have watched us, on a bipartisan basis, spend tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of billions of dollars on affordable housing. And the result is that 10 years ago, the average age of a first-time home buyer in America was 28. Today, it's 38. We're going backwards here. A house that cost 4 years ago $304,000, a lot of money, costs $423,000 today. Washington thinks it can command the tides of the housing market.
But Kennedy isn't just venting, he's got a plan. He wants to tie federal funding to results. States would have to boost new housing by 3% every year, or lose 1.5% of their federal money, but if they go above and beyond, they get a bonus. Canada's trying something like this. Could it work here? Turner, the nominee, loves the incentive idea. He says, it's just like pro sports contracts, bonuses get results. But, policies aren't touchdowns. Will states really play ball?
And we can't.
Right.
State and local government have a lot more influence than we do, much more. And I have watched us give state and local government billions, and they gladly take the money, and nothing changes. Because a lot of folks, their home is their biggest investment, and they don't want affordable housing nearby. And some of them don't want any new housing nearby because of the pressure it puts on infrastructure. If we're serious about increasing housing starts in America, and I doubt this will happen, because I don't think we in Washington have the oranges to do it. But we would turn to every state and say, look, we expect you to increase housing starts every year by 3%. Could be 2, could be 4, 3%. How you do it is your business. If you don't do it, we're going to cut by 1.5% all of the federal aid that we give to you. Across the board. If you exceed the 3%, we'll give you an extra 1.5%. Canada's in the process of looking at it. Now you will see many in state and local governments have an epiphany. And they will get started looking at their zoning standards, looking at the set-asides and the setbacks, and have an honest conversation with their people. What do you think?
Thank you, Senator Kennedy. So I appreciate our time together, and thank you for your thoughtfulness and your ingenuity and thought. Incentives do a lot. I know playing in the NFL, you always wanted to get incentives in your contract.
So does a stick.
Yes.
Stick does a lot.
Yeah,
too.
it does. The incentives we had back in the day were a lot less than the incentives I see these players getting now. But anyway, I think that returning that control back and encouraging innovativeness and encouraging that accountability back to the states, I think is a great idea. And I want to hear more about that with you. But I do believe that when we incentivize growth, we incentivize building, we incentivize, certain aspects when it comes to affordability, competition always brings out the best. And so I look forward to hearing more and working with you on that.
Then Kennedy drops another bomb. Insurance. Floods, fires, hurricanes, insurance costs are through the roof. Kennedy's working with Senator Tim Scott on a national insurance pool. No handouts, just everyone sharing risk. Kennedy says, I hate big government and insurance, but we might have to step in. Would that fix the mess or make it worse?
This isn't a question. Let me just give you an observation. You undoubtedly know this. One of the headwinds you're going to face now is the cost of insurance. I'm not talking just about flood. That's bad enough. I'm talking about fire and extended cover. Under our chairman's leadership, Senator Rounds and I are working on a bill not just dealing with flood, but dealing with all casualties. We're going to have to face it. It's coming. We've all seen what's happening in California, but it's not just California. It's Appalachia, it's Florida, it's Louisiana.
Finally, Turner jumps in. He's all about accountability and local control. But here's the snag. Most housing roadblocks are local, not federal. Zoning, red tape, NIMBY attitudes. Can cash incentives really break through that wall?
And we're going to have to address this. I'm not talking about government subsidies. I'm talking about setting up some sort of national program that invites as many people as possible to join so you can spread the risk. Strict underwriting so that the premiums are not subsidized. And I hate to see the federal government get in the insurance business, but by God, it looks like we're going to have to. And I'm way over, but I used that extra time that Bernie gave me.
Thank you, Senator.
And 17 additional seconds. So you're right, he gave you extra time. Cortez Masto, exactly, who's counting.
Kennedy's message is clear. Throwing money hasn't worked. It's time for tough love. Give states a reason to actually build. Turner's on board, but will Congress do anything? Now it's your turn. Should the feds force states to act on housing? Or is it just more Washington talk? Hit subscribe for more no-nonsense breakdowns, and let's keep the debate going in the comments. Thanks for watching.